So when Jonah was in the belly of the whale and he called out to, who did he call out to? I don't know. Do you remember the story of Jonah? Do you not remember the story?
What are you talking about?
We're talking about Jonah and the whale today for Stella's story time for a class.
No, we're supposed to be talking about some filth disease today.
Oh, that's right. We're talking about cholera. We're talking about cholera. We're way behind schedule. What are we ever gonna do? Oh man, we gotta catch up. I'm Ryan Fabian. We're talking about cholera today, and this is Terrifying World. There was hot debate over how people caught cholera, or even how it was transmitted. Nobody knew, and people really thought they were being poisoned. So for the longest time, it was postulated that cholera was caused by a miasma, by a miasmatic air. You know, this is the old thing. How many times do we gotta talk about this, you know? Then in London, along comes this doctor called Jon Snow. Not that Jon Snow, this Jon Snow. He decides, hey guys, you know, this is bull. There's no way that we can, there can be a miasmatic air. You guys crazy? You guys all taking silly drugs? It's miasmatic water. Which of course is not true, but it's a step in the right direction. It's a step in the right direction at least. These days we take certain things for granted, like, hey, don't drink that yucky, filthy water. But you know, that wasn't always the case. People did drink filthy water. And sewage. Sewage was a common thing because the middle of the street was the sewer. People would just toss their filthy wastewater right out into the middle of the street, and nobody would care. Not one freaking soul. In 1854, there was an outbreak of cholera in London. Dr. Jon Snow had the Broad Street pump handle of the pump well handle removed, and the cases of cholera went down. That, to all these people, made total sense. It's in the water. People still thought it was chemicals making them sick, though at least now they thought it was in the water. Jon Snow's writings on the matter weren't even taken seriously until the 1880s, after he was dead. Robert Koch discovered the bacterium that causes cholera in 1883. This is an important discovery that leads up to the germ theory of disease and modern epidemiology. With germ theory comes antibiotics, cleaning up the water supply, and simple things like washing your hands. And it's why we don't deal with diseases like cholera in the first world today. And this leads scientists to going, hey guys, come here, take a look at this. They're like, what? Take a look at this, I found it. What are you talking about? That thing right there, that's what's been causing this whole thing this whole time. They're like, really? And they look in there, they're like, oh yeah. So that does it. That's what's been giving us all this grief all this time? That thing? Those little things in there? But it makes total sense, doesn't it? Cholera is an infection of the small intestine. It's caused by a bacterium called Vibrio cholerae, and it's spread almost exclusively through the oral and fecal route. So let's say that you ate a dose of cholera that was enough to make it through the stomach to the small intestine. First, there's an incubation period. The incubation period can be as short as a few hours or up to 3 days. And then it gets to the small intestine, where it attaches itself to the intestinal wall, and it dies. When the bacteria dies, it releases an enterotoxin, which is one of the most powerful toxins that occurs in nature. And what it does is it causes the intestinal wall to work in reverse. It drains the fluid from the bloodstream and empties it out through the bowel, and a kind of hemorrhaging to death. We saw the return of these old draconian plague measures. God, they're back. What the heck, guys? Lazarettos, sanitary cordons, quarantines, and the hunts, the witch hunts for scapegoats. It all comes back, you know? What the heck? Haven't we moved beyond this? No. same as it ever was. The disease was also a key factor in the shaping of modern European cities. So let's take Paris for example. Here, look at this. Take a look at this. You see these big broad streets? They thought that if they could make the streets more open to sunshine and air and rain, they wouldn't be as conducive to miasma, and it wouldn't cause diseases like cholera. Vast sewage systems were also installed under Paris. This is referred to as the Haussmannization of Paris, which is named after one of the prefects at the time. It took from 1852 to 1870 to tear it all down and build it back up again. The idea was to move the filthy slum from the city center and export that out into the suburbs, into the nether regions. You are banished. They had these big broad boulevards constructed, and you can't put barricades in the center, and troops can move easily in and out, and cannonballs can fire. They can fire down these big broad boulevards. The whole goal, or one of the goals, was to make Paris revolution-proof. And of course that would fail with the advent of the Paris Commune of 1871, which is a whole other story. Cholera did return in the 1890s, only now it had been exported to the outside of the city, which was the new slums. In the developing world, there are 3 to 5 million cases of cholera still each year, with around 100,000 to 120,000 deaths. It's just a not so subtle reminder that there is terror. There is terror all around you.